American women exceeded the military's expectations. Many went out to the flight lines and into motor pools to take jobs that would release men for combat duty. 235 different jobs, according to one Army report. They served as mechanics and technicians, even as pilots. Hundreds were decorated for bravery. Hollywood cranked out a lot of movies about women in military service. Most were comedies that managed to trivialize and stereotype military women and tended to ignore their real accomplishments. At least 2 movie melodramas exploited the story of the American nurses captured in the Philippines. One Army nurse who had escaped the Japanese denounced Cry Havoc as inaccurate, outrageous, and offensive. If Hollywood failed to deal with women realistically, the newsreels were not much better.
Nobody should ever tell a WASP that flying's not a woman's job. They wouldn't believe it, any more than if it were said a girl can't be a good flyer and a woman at the same time. This is Texas, cradle of our Army's Air Force. And out of those buses are stepping girls. Girls who give a new angle to an Air Force story. They're WASPs, Women's Airforce Service Pilots. But even before they get a chance to take the polish off their nails, it's out onto a dusty Texas drill field with them. Right away, the Air Force wants to get a little muscle on those pretty arms. This scene provides a pretty fair picture of what the girls look like from all angles. None of them are under 21 or over 35. Now, chinning yourself is a very wholesome kind of, thank you, sir. A very wholesome kind of conditioner for young ladies about to embark on a serious venture. Very simply and seriously, the WASPs, girls like Mary Abbott, maybe a little younger, maybe older, are willing to plow into as rugged a 6-month stretch as anything handed to women in the whole war effort. Map reading and physics, navigation and code, with strict AAF exams in each, too. For men, it would be tough. It's tough for girls, too. To be accepted as a WASP, each girl had to have 35 hours in the air beforehand, enough to know men's airplane talk when they hear it. Graduation day means that they've grown up. They're Army flyers. As they know, their experience here has been no interlude for romantic adventure, but a period of intensive training for a highly important job. At the moment, there's a bill in Congress to bring them into the Air Force. Each WASP, like other women in other services, has achieved no little thing. She's gone into a man's world because the men needed her, gone through a tough ordeal as just a girl, and come out a girl pilot with the U.S. Army Air Force.
The WASP flew 60 million miles during the war, delivering all types of combat aircraft from the factories to the air bases. About 1,100 women were trained to do that kind of work, and 38 of them were killed in plane crashes. 50 years later, the WASPs had no war monument in America, just a few faded photographs and an old sexist newsreel in the archives. In America during World War II, there was never any shortage of sexism.
It's the fair damsels to the rescue as Port Arthur, Texas faces the loss of the watermelon crop due to the labor shortage. But they trucked on down to the field, these gals, and pitched in like veterans. It's enough to make your mouth water. The melons, of course. A peeping Tom, camouflaged by that high forehead. Should we tell these melon jolly babies? Oh, no, let's not. He's always wanted a picture of a watermelon, a melon patch commando. But these gals have done a patriotic duty, and Port Arthur's mayor saw to it that they received certificates of appreciation. Yes, sir, we can all appreciate these heroines of the American Crop Corps.
Obviously, the newsreels did little to change American attitudes about women. At the time, most American women saw the war as disruption of their lives, not as an opportunity for social change. Few women doubted that life would get back to normal once the war was over. What most American women experienced during the war years was separation, or the fear of separation, from their sons, their husbands, from the men they hoped to marry if they ever came back from the war.
You'll never know just how much I miss you. You'll never know just how much I care. And if I tried, I still couldn't hide my love for you. You ought to know, for haven't I told you so? A million or more times you went away and my heart went with you. I speak your name in my every prayer. If there is some other way to prove that I love you, I swear I don't know how. You'll never know if you don't know now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on location with Miss Loretta Young, where she's making her latest picture based on the war in China. As soon as she finishes the scene, she has something she wants to say to you.
Cut! All right, Mr. Pearl?
Yes.
Thank you.
Miss Young?
Yes?
May we have a moment of your time?
Yes, you certainly may. Because that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask each one of you here to give me a moment of her time. I say her because I want particularly to speak to you women in this theater. Women at War Week reminds us that we need no longer sit and wait. There is a job for each and every one of us, and it is our duty to find that job.
Pardon me, Jane,